Over the last few weeks, I've been using several different softwares. In this video today, I'm going to be comparing them and tell you which one I think is the best. What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Nate Hibbert. The big mistake that I made basically all of last month was trying out a ton of different softwares that just weren't right for the type of 3D modeling that I was doing. So the first thing I want to address is which software I actually spent my time learning. The first one was TinkerCAD, the second one was SketchUp, and the third one was Fusion 360. The whole purpose of me learning how to 3D model was so that I could actually 3D print. The first one that we'll talk about is TinkerCAD, and TinkerCAD was awesome, especially as one of the first tools that I used in the 3D space. I definitely think that if you are brand new to 3D modeling, if you've never done any like computer graphics, anything, this would be a fantastic place to start. For beginners, it is web-based, and basically what a web-based program is one that you can just go to any internet browser and pull up and start using inside of the browser. So there's no program you have to download, and it's usually a little bit lighter of a workload for your computer, so even if you don't have the best computer, you can still use this program. So like I said, fantastic for learning how to model in the 3D space, and the tutorials that they have were really mind-blowing. Even breaking down very simple things like how to move the camera in a 3D space, it was all built right into this one website, and just gave me a really quick guide on how to start my journey into 3D modeling. So definitely a ton of pros for TinkerCAD, but so I would say this program is great for anyone who wants to learn or just wants to do something quick and dirty. I'm glad that I have an account there. I'm glad that all the education is there, and something that I'll probably dig around with in future as I'm trying to teach this business model, if it works out, to more people, because it's a very easy, accessible 3D modeling software, but not quite right for what I'm doing day to day. All right, moving right along into the second software that I used, which was SketchUp. And sadly, I really had high hopes for SketchUp, as it would be like a next level to TinkerCAD, but I really was not impressed with SketchUp, and probably only spent less than 5 hours in the tool trying to learn it and understand what it was for, just because it seemed like it made my life a lot more difficult than it needed to be. SketchUp is the tool that made me do a little bit of digging and made me understand that I was really looking for like a CAD type software, so computer aided design, not just a generic 3D modeling software. Definitely wasn't impressed with the type of modeling that you could do in SketchUp. Now I will say there's definitely a place and a reason for this software to exist, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who love this software because it is great for like interior design and different types of like city planning and those types of things, a much larger scale than what I'm doing. I'm using a 3D printer, which is like an 8x8 square, but you could easily 3D model a full building or a city block inside of SketchUp, especially with all like the huge library of 3D components that they have in there. So it is a very impressive website, and it's really cool that it is free, but as far as what I'm trying to do with the 3D printer, definitely not something that I will continue on using. All right, and the third and last software that I'm going to talk about in this video is Fusion 360, and this program I have been very quickly falling in love with because it is exactly that program that I was looking for. Like I said, in SketchUp, I learned that I'm looking for a CAD type software, and Fusion 360 is exactly that. I'm able to be as precise as I need to be, and it is very satisfying knowing that if I type in 1 inch to this program and then I go to my 3D printer and actually print that out, it's going to be 1 inch in real life as well. So there's a lot of confidence that a tool like that can give me. Now, funny enough, Fusion 360 is actually made by the same people who make TinkerCAD, which is Autodesk, and they carried over that amazing training inside of Fusion 360 that they had inside of TinkerCAD. Inside of Fusion 360, they actually give you like the files that you can use, and they're all on the cloud storage, so it only takes a couple of seconds to download them. Just know that this tool is fantastic for the type of work that I'm trying to do, which again is like functional, practical things that you would have around your house or desk that I'm trying to print and bring into the real world. The last thing that I'll say about this program is that it actually saves your projects in different milestones in all the different versions that you've saved it as. So some of my projects are a little crazy and they have like 40 different versions of the save file, but that just means that I can go basically back in time at any point that I saved that file and access it as it was. So if I start going down a path and I realize I'm kind of messing up the original intent for that project, I can go right back to that whatever version I need to see and open it back up and start out from there, which is such a time saver. I don't have to just stand there and hit Control Z a million times, or if I close the program I can actually go back to those older versions still and access that and even see kind of my my own progression in the program. Some of those early files definitely do have like 40-50 versions, but some of my newer files only have 5 to 10, because I've just been able to go back and actually learn the mistakes that I've made, which is a super valuable tool to be able to learn from your own mistakes, because they're actually saved right there for you to see. So yeah, I'm really happy with Fusion 360, but it might not be the greatest for like free form modeling. And if you are into free form modeling, which is not something that I'm going to jump into quite yet, there is a tool out there called Blender 2.8, which was actually the first 3D modeling software that I jumped into, but that was far too complicated for what I was looking to do. And again, it was more for like free form modeling, something that you could do similarly like with clay rather than with like a CNC machine, which is more the type of design work that I'm going after. And I do want to make a point that all of these projects, I did actually print out some of the things that I made in each of these softwares just to see if there'd be any problems with like the STL files or anything like that. I didn't have any problems personally, and I did actually use ZYL filaments for all of those projects and all those prints that I did. I've been really in love with their filaments so far, as I've been able to buy them, get them in a reasonable amount of time, and get the exact type of filaments that I'm looking for.